We don't have to tell you how popular Squid Game on Netflix has become. In its continuous dominance of popular culture in 2021, the South Korean series has not only inspired everything from real-life robot dolls to amateur video game adaptations, but it has also smashed innumerable streaming records and changed how Netflix judges the popularity of its shows. Overall, Squid Game has been nothing short of a success for Netflix and the entertainment industry in general. But how does it end, and what might happen if it has a different ending? Hello there, this is Celebrity Express, and we have another fantastic video for you. We're gonna talk about how Hwang Dong-Hyuk reveals the alternate ending to Squid Game Season 1. But first, make sure you subscribe to the channel and switch on notifications so you don't miss a single upload. Anyone who hasn't watched Netflix's massively popular dystopian survival series yet should be aware of some spoilers ahead. As the dust settles on Squid Game's first season, we'll try to explain some of the later episodes, as well as the series' allegedly alternate ending. Let's start with a recap of what happens in the final game to understand better where Squid Game might go next. But again, there are Squid Game spoilers ahead, so proceed with caution. Okay, so episode 9 begins shortly after Se-byuk is killed by Sang-woo, leaving him and Ji-hun as the game's only remaining players. Squid Game, in which Ji-hun faces off against Sang-woo in a violent and rainy knife duel, is the last challenge. The former wins but stops shortly before the end of the game to invoke Clause 3 of the agreement, which states that the game terminates if the majority of players agree to abandon the game. For Ji-hun, this is a pivotal moment. Unlike Sang-woo, who descends into a darker and darker state of mind in previous episodes, Ji-hun maintains a sense of morality and humanity throughout the increasingly brutal games. Ji-hun, on the other hand, displays a brief, harsh streak in this battle, allowing him to defeat Sang-woo. Finally, he still refuses to be entirely corrupted by the game, sparing Sang-woo's life and opting to forego the prize money and return home. Things did not go as planned. Sang-woo stabs himself in the neck, probably due to his guilt, as Ji-hun arrives to notify him of his decision. Sang-woo's final words to Ji-hun are that he takes the award money and assists his mother. The game is over at this point. The VIPs leave, the prize money falls from the roof, and the front man declares Ji-hun the winner, congratulating him on his victory. When Ji-hun asks the front man why he hosts the game, he responds, "You people are horses," implying that it was developed for the sake of sport and betting. This is partially accurate. However, later in the show, more logic is provided. Let's take a look at the effort to adjust. When Ji-hun goes home, he discovers that he has 45.6 billion won in his bank account. He passes Sang-woo's mother on his way back to his apartment, who inquires about her son's whereabouts. Ji-hun remains silent, and it's unclear whether she takes this as confirmation of Sang-woo's death. When Ji-hun returns home, he realizes that his mother has passed away. Again, this is a pivotal time for the character, as his mother's health was the initial impetus for his participation in the game. Ji-hun's encounter has left him traumatized a year later. Despite his wealth, he appears tired and needy, riding the subway to a banker who informs him that he has barely spent any of his money. Ji-hun asks the banker if he can borrow 10,000 won on his way out, referring to a previous request he made in the show's early episodes. Next, Ji-hun goes to a local beach to buy flowers, only to find a game invitation placed within the bouquet. This time, it instructs him to meet his ganbu on Christmas Eve at a specific location. Let's talk about the mastermind now. He discovers that player 001, Il-nam, who Ji-hun had assumed was killed after the 4th game in episode 6. Il-nam, who is sick in a hospital bed, exposes himself to be the game's creator, explaining that he devised it as a way to escape his dull life of wealth and as a test of humanity's inherent goodness. He reminds Ji-hun that contestants killed one another to obtain money. Il-nam also adds that the games were inspired by ones he remembered from his own childhood, and that he took part in this rendition of the game out of nostalgia. This explains why Il-nam recognized the imitation town's layout in the 4th game. It was based on his childhood home. Il-nam then invites Ji-hun to join him in one final game, a final test of humanity's virtue. They spot a homeless man outside, and Il-nam bets that no one will aid him before the clock strikes midnight. Ji-hun triumphs with the help of a passing stranger, but Il-nam perishes. It's unknown whether Il-nam notices this gesture of kindness before he dies, but two interpretations might be made from this incident. The first is that Il-nam dies believing he has won the game and that humanity is extinct. The second is Il-nam's death, which occurs after he realizes that he's lost the game and witnesses an act of charity that allows him to die in peace. Even though the show doesn't elaborate on either scenario, this scene captures the moral quandary at the center of Squid Game. Incidentally, the golden rabbit mask in the frontman's apartment is shown to have belonged to Il-nam in the following extremely brief scene. We see the old man laying it on a dressing table before telling the frontman he is going to participate in the games himself. Okay, let's go on to the end, which is about keeping promises. After winning the brutal battle that spans 9 episodes, Song Ji-yeon, the protagonist, played by Lee Jung-jae, boards a plane to visit his daughter overseas in the last scene of Squid Game's first season. However, just as he is about to board the plane, Ji-yeon turns around and escapes oppositely after calling the game's designers. It's a clear demonstration of his desire to avenge himself and erstwhile rivals. But as Hwang Dong-Hyuk, the show's creator, revealed in a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly, Squid Game almost concluded on a different note. For the ending, we genuinely wrestled between two alternative situations, he revealed. We continually ask ourselves, is it truly right for Ji-yeon to go meet his family to pursue his happiness? The creator stated, is that the best method for us to pose a topic or express a message we wanted to convey through the series? Finally, he claimed that a different ending would have detracted from the message conveyed in Squid Game's last scene. We came to the conclusion that the question that we wanted to address, why has the world come to this, can only be answered or proposed if Ji-yeon turns around and walks towards the camera. And that's how we got to the final scene's ending. The finale of Squid Game also gave the developer plenty of options for continuing Ji-yeon's journey in Season 2. So what would the second season of Squid Game be about? Based on what Hwang has mentioned about the series' future, the next installment could be a prequel focusing on the frontman's history. The story would focus on his past as a police officer in particular. I think the issue with police officers is not just an issue in Korea, Hwang told the Sunday Times, because I see it on global news that the police force can be very late on acting on things. There are more victims or a situation gets worse because they don't act fast enough. This was an issue that I wanted to raise, and maybe in Season 2 I can talk about it more. Hwang famously wrote Squid Game entirely on his own, which means that if Season 2 is approved, it may add a whole writer's room worth of viewpoints. However, in a new interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Hwang revealed that he had a few ideas for Season 2. So, in a nutshell, he has a few options for interpretation. What are your thoughts on the altered ending scene? Please let us know in the comment section below. Also remember to subscribe to the channel and switch on notifications to be notified of every upload. We'll see you in our future video. This is Celebrity Express.